Good evening, everyone. Welcome to November, if I can get it out of my mouth here. Welcome to the November Planning Commission meeting. If you would, please stand. We'll start off with opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, and we thank you for our community, and thank you for the opportunity to be stewards over planning decisions. Just pray that you give us wisdom and guidance, and just pray that you'd be honored. In Jesus' name, amen. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's go ahead and do roll call for the Planning Commission meeting. Laura?
Byrd. Here. Knack.
Here.
Lowe.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Prater.
Here.
McGuinn.
Here.
DeArmond. Here.
All right, 7-0. We do have a quorum, and we'll go into accepting our meeting minutes from October Planning Commission meeting. If there are any corrections or adjustments, please let me know. If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve from Prater. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from DeArmond. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Byrd. Yes. Lowe.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Knack.
Yes.
DeArmond. Yes. Prater.
Yes.
McGuinn.
Yes.
All right, 7-0. The minutes are approved. Let's go ahead and shift over into our Board of Adjustment meeting, and we'll go ahead and do a roll call. I really need 3 arms. Okay. Just do roll call for Board of Adjustment, please, Laura.
Knack.
Here.
Byrd. Here. Lowe.
Here.
Prater.
Here.
McGuinn.
Here.
DeArmond. Here. Young.
Here. All right, 7-0. We do have a quorum for Board of Adjustment. Likewise, for the October Board of Adjustment meeting minutes, any corrections or adjustments? I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Okay, a motion from Knack. Second?
Second.
Second from Lowe. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Prater.
Yes.
Lowe.
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Byrd. Yes. Knack.
Yes.
DeArmond. Yes. McGuinn.
Yes.
All right, 7-0. Minutes are approved. Let's go ahead and start off with our new business. I've got 703. Laura?
First item is a variance, front setback reduction, South First Street, Staley Glass. Okay, so this is a request for a variance for a reduced front setback along First Street for the property that's going to be located at 610 South First Street. Currently, it is a vacant piece of property with a small existing building that is located on it. The property is about 0.71 acres inside, currently zoned C2. The applicant is seeking to reduce the front setback along South First Street from the required 40 feet down to 30 feet so that a new building can be constructed for an existing business next door for Staley Glass. They are also on the agenda, as you can see, they're requesting another variance for the reduction in the building design standards for the same building. So if we want to kind of potentially talk about both of them simultaneously, but we will need to do a vote, obviously, on both of them separately. So the building design standard request for the variance as well is they are asking to have a variance on allowing to have the exposed fasteners as 100% of the building facade. And the request that they're asking for is for that to match the existing building that they already have already there. So those are the 2 variances that are on the agenda for it. If you have any questions for me, I can answer them. The applicant is here as well if you have any questions for the applicant on either one of them.
All right, thank you, Laura. Commissioners, any questions for Laura?
I have a question about the C2 zoning, with it being a storage warehouse. Can you allow a C2 zoning in a warehouse to be built in a C2 zoning? I thought it was supposed to be industrial. This is a totally separately addressed piece of property and a separately platted piece of property. So it's a new construction.
But just because it's warehouse doesn't mean it's industrial, though. I mean, what
Okay.
is the use of it is for a business, a C2 business.
Okay,
So it's not a warehouse,
But
it's
it's-
an
but it's in-
industrial warehouse.
That's how they described it, though, as a warehouse.
Is the applicant here?
It was just described as a warehouse, and they had omitted the lease property off of it and made it an exclusively a warehouse
Okay.
in their paperwork.
Is the applicant here to speak for this item?
I mean,
If you would, please come up, state your name.
the lease, should we do a special use permit on it? Because it's separate from the other business. It's platted separate, it's, structured separate, address separate. So even though it's going to be used by that existing business, it's a separate business.
Okay. All right, thank you, Liz.
Yes, Monty Moix, I work with Bob Eagle Architects.
Can you pull that microphone to you? Can you pull, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm
perfect.
Monty Moix, I work with Bob Eagle Architects, here representing Mr. Staley. The business will be part of Staley Glass. We do have it set up, with the restrooms and everything, as it is a separate business. So, I mean, technically, yes, they would have their own glass shop in that. It's not going to be just a storage warehouse. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, what is the use inside?
Sir?
What is the use of the facility? As far, I know what State of Glass is, but what's going to go on inside the,
Well, it's where they'll have their frame shop and some, they'll store some of their glass and stuff where they move, from one job site to the other. So they may be putting some frames together, so sometimes there'll be storage and sometimes it could be a frame shop.
and some office space and restrooms, break area?
The building is designed to have an office in the front if they need it. Right now, we're doing basically just the restroom,
Okay.
for the workers that'll be in there.
Okay.
Yes.
Commissioners have any other questions? Does that answer your question, Liz?
Mhm. Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
just,
in reality, it'll be an extension of Staley Glass in
Yeah.
their manufacturing process.
Yeah, not storage as in S2 storage, it's,
No, it's not just for storage.
right. What is the occupancy? What classification? Just B? Business occupancy?
Business, yes.
Yeah. Pre-engineered metal building, unsprinkled or sprinklered?
That size will be unsprinkled.
Okay. And the front yard setback, I see, is it 10 feet that we're asking for variance
We're
along the?
asking for a variance to go from 40 to 30. We're asking for 10 feet of that 40 feet.
Okay. What exactly is the hardship to ask for that variance? Could the building be skinnier? Is it, what's the driver for it?
Well, one, we're trying to match that first street. All the buildings on that street are actually closer to the road. And there's actually an alley behind it. So we're not going to encroach on that alley that's behind it. And we'd like to get the 60-foot instead of a 50-foot building in there. But, in the overall realm of things, just trying to match what's going down First Street.
And then the reduction of the building design standards, that's, as Laura said, exposed fasteners just to match the existing building adjacent to it.
Now, we are going to put a lot of glass in that too, so.
I hope so. It's a glass company.
Yeah.
You got to show it off.
Correct.
Commissioners have any other questions?
Now, originally, we did have the building with lease space on the other end of it and parking, but we did find out there is a water line that does not have an easement, so we have reduced the size of the building. We'll do a future lease space on the other side of that water line easement. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Okay.
your, on your south elevation design, what size are those windows that fronts South First Street? You got 16-foot height of the building, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I believe they're 18-foot wide and 30 inches tall.
30 inches by 18.
We're matching the building that they have there currently with one in each bay.
Monty, what is the setback of the existing building? Looks pretty close to the street.
The existing building,
Mhm.
it's on the, probably on the building
On the
line.
property line?
I don't have a current survey of that lot. But the bond survey that we did have showed that pretty close to where the property line is.
Okay. Commissioners have any other questions? All right, thank you, Monty. Appreciate it. All right, since this is a public hearing, anyone here to speak against this item? Either for or against this item? All right, seeing none, I'll turn it over to the commissioners for any other follow-up discussion. If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the reduced front setback.
All right, got a motion to approve from Commissioner Lowe. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Knack. A roll call vote, please, Laura.
Lowe,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. 7-0, motion passes. Variance is approved for the front setback reduction. All right, let's go ahead and get a vote on the next item. We already talked about that. I don't think there's any more discussion required unless there's any other questions. Seeing none, I entertain a motion to approve the variance for reduction in design.
Motion to approve.
A motion from Commissioner Prater. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from DeArmond. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Byrd,
No.
Young.
Yes. All right, 6-1. Motion passes for that variance and reduction of building design standards. All right, we will go ahead and close our Board of Adjustment and move back into our Planning Commission meeting and pick back up with our public hearing. It is 7:13 and item number 6, Laura.
Okay, the first of several UDC amendments, section 4.8.3, site plan procedure and authority. Okay, so this first one is procedures and authority as far as related to site plans. This revision for the UDC is come upon us due to Act 591 for third-party reviews and inspections that was brought into law by our legislators at this past legislation session. As you can see in the code, I've shown you what the current code is and then what the proposed code would be for this section. It would strike out everything in red and add before the word site plan in the last section that all site plans would be reviewed by the Planning Commission, instead of having some of the smaller site plans, like the ones, for instance, that are less than 5,000 square feet being reviewed only at administrative level. So with this proposed code, that means that everything would be brought before this board for approval. Are there any questions on that one?
The agenda just got bigger.
To be honest, there are not a lot of site plans that get reviewed at staff level, especially if there is a plat that is related to it. If the plat typically does come before y'all and there's a site plan attached to it, I just push the site plan to y'all as well. So there are not very many actual site plans that get reviewed at staff level.
Okay. Any discussion on item A? We're just going to go through each one and vote on each one, correct?
Correct.
I'll make a motion to accept.
A motion to approve from Commissioner Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Byrd. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knack,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. All right, 7-0. Motion passes. Next item, Laura, item B.
UDC Amendment, Section 5.4.6, subdivision and development, platted building lines and buffers. Okay, so the reason that this one is being brought before you is due to citizen and staff requests. This one, as you can see, the current code and the proposed code. On the proposed code, or currently, only multifamily developments that abut single-family residential zoning districts are required to install opaque fences. This proposed fence would require any multifamily and commercial development that abuts single-family residential zone properties to install an opaque fence, minimum of 6 feet tall, maximum of 10 feet tall. We had some concerns on some current developing property that is commercial that abuts residential, and some residents were asking for the city to revise some codes to have some protection on the residential property against commercial. So that is the reasoning behind this proposed code change.
Okay, makes sense. Any questions?
Yeah, I do. On section C, where it describes the type of fencing, it says wood or masonry, and I know that's a 40-foot buffer. And then on section D, it allows wood, masonry, or metal. Would we not want to do wood, masonry, or metal on both sections so that it would be consistent if you've got commercial property on one side and the rear? Otherwise, you're going to have two different types of fencing if somebody decides to put metal in the back and wood or masonry on the side.
Do you want me to add in section C, say in wood, masonry, or metal?
Yes, I believe that'd be more
I would.
consistent.
Yeah.
Agree, that's a good catch. Any other questions or comments? If not, I entertain a motion to approve the UDC amendment with those corrections that Commissioner Byrd mentioned.
Motion to approve.
A motion from Prater, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Byrd. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. All right, 7-0, motion passes. Item C, Laura.
Section 4, UDC Amendment, Section 4.17, accessory dwelling units. Okay, so this is a whole new section that is being proposed to be added to the Unified Development Code. Again, this one is being brought due to Act 313 that the legislators have passed for accessory dwelling units. So these regulations would allow for, in essence, your accessory building to be lived in. Whether it is detached or attached to your house, these are regulations that would define the rights that the applicant has as far as where it can be located, what restrictions, the minimum restriction, or let me rephrase that, the maximum restrictions that the city is allowed to enforce by the regulations that we were given. They are maximized on a certain size that they are allowed to have. And then they, one of the other regulations that we are allowed to regulate is they must be, already have an existing single-family unit, a single-family structure already on the house. They cannot just have an ADUs, in short, for the accessory dwelling unit, alone, standalone on a single-family residential lot. So that's a short summary of the regulations. If you have any questions on any of them that you see before you, I can answer them. This is, again, this is a whole new section that would be in the UDC.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of this in Northwest Arkansas. They're allowing a lot more density in residential areas where you can build carriage houses, in-law quarters, that sort of thing in your backyard, so.
Correct.
Just a question, does this override bill of assurances?
No, sir. If a bill of assurance restricts this, the city cannot deny the application if it meets the regulations. The my office will advise if we have copies of bills of assurances that state that these are not allowed. We will advise the applicant, but that's as far as the city can go. So the bill of assurance or the covenants of a subdivision or a POA or an HOA would have to enforce it if it is against their regulations.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for ADUs? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion from Lowe, a second from O'Gwen.
Second.
All right, let's go ahead and get roll call vote, please, Laura.
Prater,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. All right, 7-0, motion passes. All right, next item, D, Laura?
UDC Amendment Section 4.6, Table of Permitted Uses. Okay, so this is being brought before you so that we can add the ADUs to our Table of Permitted Uses as well as the unit section of it. So that is the reasoning for updating the Table of Permitted Uses. But as you can see, it's by right allowed in any of the residential districts as long as it's in conjunction with a single-family dwelling that's greater than the square footage of the proposed ADU.
I'm assuming they all have to abide by fire code in terms of setbacks from adjacent structures.
So
Property
in the
lines,
ADU
fences.
regulations, they do have to meet the fire prevention regulations. But I am very limited on requirements for setbacks. As far as I can, is we are allowed by law to regulate is they have to be behind the front face of the existing structure. I cannot make it more strenuous than our current single-family zoning regulations already have. I'm very limited on.
If I can ask, just out of confusion, I guess, so if you're attaching this, and I guess we're not choosing to do this, we're being forced to do this.
Correct.
If you're attaching it to R2, R3, R4, is it a percentage of the total building or units within the largest unit within the building? Like say a duplex, triplex? Does that mean I can do 75% of the triplex total or just one of the units?
It's going to
within
be
the
based
triplex?
on the lot. So if
But
you
the
have
percentage
a,
of the existing is the structure, not units within the structure.
correct.
Oh, wow.
It's limited to one family is what it says. Occupancy of ADU should be limited to one family.
But if I have 3 900 square foot triplexes connected, I can go out and build, that's too much math, a 1,500 square foot single family. That is,
No, because you cannot exceed 1,000 square feet and
okay,
you cannot.
thousands the cap then.
The cap,
Okay.
1,000 is a cap.
But I
and-
could exceed the size of any one unit in a multifamily.
Yes,
Okay.
as long as it doesn't exceed, correct, if it doesn't exceed 1,000 square feet.
Any other discussion on table of permitted uses? Can I get a motion to approve?
So what you were saying about the fire codes, if our fire code is 10 foot from the existing building for a storage, this facility has to be at
This
least
won't be
10.
considered storage, because this is going to be a living structure.
Okay,
so
so as
whatever
far
that-
as fire code is concerned,
Yes.
do you still have to stay
It
10
still has
foot
to,
unless it's attached?
it still has to meet the fire
Okay.
prevention code, yes.
All right. Any other questions? Need a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Got a motion from DeArmond,
Second.
second from Knack. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knack,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. 7-0, motion passes.
Hmm.
All right, next item, E, Laura.
Okay, so the last one is UDC Amendment Section 6.1.2 definitions. Okay, so this one is being brought before you for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is obviously for the definition of an ADU. as well as I'm having to update some definitions due to an Act 60 for childcare facilities. So I've had to update the definition of a childcare facility as well as breaking out of that childcare facility, defining what a home daycare center actually would be instead of grouping those two together. So I've got two revised definitions and an additional definition of what an accessory dwelling unit is that would be added.
Any questions from the commissioners?
I guess it's my confusion. Is this, the way I read this, you can use an ADU under no regulations and have it as a daycare or an in-home care? Exempt from applicable regulatory requirements?
Tell me where you're reading, I'm sorry.
Accessory dwelling units,
Correct.
self-contained, but it says that complies with or is otherwise exempt from any other applicable regulatory requirements. A lot of words for me in one night.
So, I mean, accessory, you can't have a home-based business out of an accessory
Okay.
dwelling unit. It is strictly for a living structure.
Okay. Thank you.
Was this language that was provided by the General Assembly?
Yes.
Commissioners, have any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
You got a motion from Prater, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Lowe. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. 7-0, motion passes. Last item here, item F, under rezoning.
Rezone Carmichael Living Trust, South Pine Street and Bradley Drive from R1 to C2, Lemons Engineering Consultants. As you can see in the staff report, this is a rezone request for some property. It actually does have frontage on South Pine Street as well as a small frontage on Bradley Drive. The property is approximately 5.28 acres in size. They are wanting to rezone it from R1 Single Family to C2 General Commercial District. As you can see in the staff report, the adjacent properties to the north and the south are already zoned commercial. We do have a South Pine Street corridor plan that this kind of aligns with. It does go a little bit deeper off of South Pine Street than our corridor plan currently has. But other than that, the staff doesn't see any, has not received any opposition on this rezone. The applicant is here if you have any questions for him as well.
Thank you, Laura. Is the applicant here? Tim, you got any other comments to make on this rezone?
Really no comments. Answer any questions you may have, if you have anything. If I can't answer the question, Ms. Carmichael is here tonight, the owner of the property, and I'm sure between the two of us, we could do our best to answer a question.
So Laura, it looks like we're going ahead and completing the C2 puzzle here, connecting those together. Is the master plan for zoning across the street also C2?
I would have to, if you give me just a second, I can answer that question. I've got the zoning map pulled up.
South of Panther.
Across from
Panther
Pine
Trail.
Street. Yeah, south of Panther Trail.
Pretty sure it is.
I think the whole corridor is C2.
No, I mean, that property right now is not, now on the master corridor plan or on our zoning map, the zoning map, it is not zoned commercial, but as far as the Pine Street corridor plan, that would be, commercial is what the future use would be.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners have any questions for the applicant?
I have a question too. Tim, is this one lot or is it two different lots?
It's actually two different parcels. You have the bulk parcel, which
Yeah, I see that. I was wondering why the
And you got that,
residential
you
lot.
got that one little piece that goes up towards Bradley, that is actually called Lot 22 of the Country Club subdivision, which was platted many, many, many years ago.
I was just curious why that was included or just,
It was all, she bought this property, it was all as a package, both lots, or both tracks.
is there anything on that lot this time? Is there anything adjacent to it? What's? just to the west of it?
There's a house adjacent to the east, back to the
east.
west, that's vacant property, but, that has recently been zoned C2, or sometime in the recent past.
Well, they're technically platted in as two different parcels though.
Yeah, I believe they
So
are.
do we
'cause-
need two
well,
votes for each parcel or are we reparceling to get
I
one?
don't think
vote?
so, because we got a comprehensive legal description
No, okay.
that includes both. Right. Right, if you look at the survey that we provided, it is all in there, but the legal description that was used for advertisement included both tracks.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Still, this is public hearing. Anyone here to speak for or against this item? Seeing none, commissioners? Questions, or I'd entertain a motion to approve the rezone.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion from Commissioner Prater, second.
Second.
Second from DeArmond. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. 7-0, motion passes for the rezone. And, sure, and on the UDCs, that was public hearing too, and I don't think I asked the public for comments on those. Does anyone in the public have comments on the UDCs that we went over? All right, I gave the opportunity. Make sure. All right, so it is 7:33, and we will go ahead and close the public hearing and move into Planning Commission new business. And Laura, the first item.
Final plat, Going Springs Phase 1, Lemons Engineering Consultants. Okay, so this is a final plat of a subdivision that is being built on Mountain Springs Road. This first phase consists of 30 lots with two common areas for detention. As you can see in the staff report, the property is currently zoned R1. This is going to be for single-family homes to be built. The applicant has met most of the staff reports. The staff comments in the staff report. There are some outstanding water comments, and there's been an email between Mr. Lemons and the water department as far as what items will have to be completed before any water meters or any water hookup or sewer hookups will be allowed through the water department, because the infrastructure is not fully completed yet. Tim, have they installed the asphalt?
Yes, yes.
So those are the outstanding comments that staff would ask for contingency approval.
All right, thank you, Laura.
And to be totally clear, the items that are outstanding, where we have our two common areas, which if you look at the drawing, you'll see common area, I think it's A, and common area B. The sidewalks are supposed to be installed by the developer there, because everywhere else, when you buy a lot, you build your own sidewalk. Those are common areas. The contractor was unaware that he was supposed to put those sidewalks in, but he has been told. So the sidewalks will be on those two little strips. It's about 200 foot of sidewalk in total. The other item that has not been completed is the pump station. The pumps have been ordered, and we're still recovering from supply and demand issues that we had 2 years ago. So pumps are kind of hard to get readily delivered, but according to the supplier, the pumps should be here in about 2 weeks. And so we should be completely through with everything, hopefully shortly after that. One other item I want to point out has just very little to do with this, except for if you saw the original final plat, we had 52 lots on it. And Laura brought it to our attention that we only had one way in and out. So that's what caused us to reduce this down to 30 lots for tonight, because we can't go to 30 and go and get our final plat, so we can start selling lots. The other 22 lots that the infrastructure has been put in, we just can't bring it to you until we have our second way in. They are working on that, should start construction on that hopefully within the next, well, won't be this week, but probably next week. So we should be back at the January meeting with the remaining 22 lots.
So the second egress would tie into what,
James.
James Street?
Mhm.
Okay.
We're going to end up basically doing away with one of the lots on the preliminary plat to provide that ingress and egress.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tim. Any other questions for the applicant? See none, I entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Motion from Commissioner Byrd. Do we have a second?
That's with staff comments.
With staff
Staff
comments.
comments, yes.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Lowe. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Byrd,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Young.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
7-0, motion passes. It's approved with staff comment. Item B, Laura.
Final plat, Meadowbrook at Cabot, Vaughn Consulting Engineers. Okay, so this is this piece of property may look very familiar as we've seen it several times before you. This is a final plat request to plat this property on 16 St. John Street, where currently there are some apartments that are built. So this is just a finalization of that property to get this on the books as far as having a platted piece of property for those apartments. They have addressed all the comments that the staff had as far as comments that we needed addressed. So the only thing would be just to have signatures and approval tonight.
All right, great. Thank you, Laura. Any questions? Entertain a motion to approve the final plat.
Motion to approve.
A motion from Knapp. Do I have a second? Second from Lowe. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knapp,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. 7-0, motion passes. And next item, Laura.
Preliminary plat, Cut Hill Road Extension, Lemons Engineering. Okay, so this is a proposal of a preliminary plat of a road for Cut Hill Road Extension that would connect South First Street to Bill Foster Memorial Highway, also known as Highway 321. The current use of the property is vacant, zoned I-1. So they are proposing to install a city street that would be built to city street standards to, again, connect South First Street to Highway 321. The outstanding comments that are in the staff report are related to an RDOT approval for this connection on to 321, as well as a little bit more information on some drainage of this to make sure that we are not going to be building the street too low. Other than that, the outstanding comments that are in the staff report are comments that can be addressed between the staff and the applicant.
All right, thank you, Laura. Tim?
That's all I got, unless you got questions.
So we are lining this up on both ends with existing
So-
streets, so we're not creating conflicts.
Yes, this
Well,
would,
we're
this
gonna
would be
offset
an
them about 60 feet.
this
Hey,
would be an
no,
People do
intersection.
it all the time, so just making sure.
This would be an intersection at First Street and Cut Hill to make it a four-way stop actually on First Street. And then this street would actually come out on Highway 321 at the intersection of
Lakewood.
Lakewood subdivision.
So you'll actually be able to get through town a little bit easier, we hope.
And they'll put a light there.
Surely help on 321.
That's a state highway.
All right, commissioners have any questions?
And I would like to recognize Mr. Nally is here tonight, so if you have any questions that you would like to ask him, of course, he's available.
All right, thank you. Commissioners? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion from Prater, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Knapp. I'm sorry, O'Gwen, sorry about that. James and Jim. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Prater,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Young.
Yes, 7-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, those names don't even sound the same. My J guys. All right, next item, Laura.
Preliminary plat, KSS, C-Store subdivision. All right, so this is gonna be for a preliminary plat for a commercial lot of a subdivision that's gonna be located at the corner of Highway 367, also known as South Second Street, and Highway 89. So this is at the intersection, where the new, overpass is. So this is just a preliminary plat, that's in conjunction with a site plan that will be the next item on the agenda, for a building of a C-store. So as you can see on this preliminary plat, they are taking several tracts of property, and breaking them into a couple different separate tracts so that they can build the C-store and then have also a tract that is just, in the floodplain, so they don't have to worry about that being on the same piece of property as the convenience store. As you can see in the staff report, they've addressed all the comments other than getting approval and signatures. The applicant's here if you have any questions for him or if you have any questions for myself.
Commissioners have any questions, either applicant or Laura? All right, seeing none, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Roll call vote, please, Laura.
Knapp,
Yes.
O'Gwen,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. All right, 7-0, motion is approved. Last item, item E. Laura?
Site plan C-Store at Highway 367 and Highway 38. Okay, so again, this is the same piece of property that you just approved a preliminary plat for. This is a site plan in order to construct a convenience store. With this site plan, they are also asking for a waiver for the detention requirements, for on-site detention. So that is also in conjunction with this site plan that they are asking for approval on. They are looking to build a convenience store that's just under 6,000 square feet. They'll have the usual gas pumps, parking, landscaping, sidewalks. And then they are proposing on the end of this build to have a small restaurant that's just under 1,800 square feet. As you can see in the staff report, they very much addressed most of the staff comments. There is a little bit of drainage comments on the detention waiver that they're asking for, that our consulting engineers would like a little bit more information on, or they've given you some insight on why they do not think that a waiver of the detention, on-site detention, is in good faith for the city. So again, the applicant's here if you have any questions for them, for him as well, or if you have any questions for me.
All right, thank you, Laura. Commissioners have any questions?
They have a landscaping plan?
They do.
Okay.
I would like to hear why we're waiving detention, so
Sure.
if we could come up and kind of say where we are and what the reasoning is behind that.
You state your name?
My name's Vernon Williams. I'm with Garnett Engineering. I think it's the first time I've been before your planning commission. And so essentially, I do believe that we've addressed all the detention comments that your outside consultant that reviewed our plans did. We've turned in a set of plans. with detention designs in it that fully comply. We're just asking for the waiver because I think, I'm a civil engineer with 30 years' experience. I'm the floodplain manager for the city of Bryant and the city of Haskell. I'm a certified floodplain manager. And, you know, our project discharges directly to the floodplain that is right next to us. And you know, in my years of experience practicing in Little Rock and North Little Rock, I know this is Cabot and this isn't Little Rock and this isn't North Little Rock. But I believe in either one of those cities, they would not require me. They have detention requirements, but they would not ask us to do that because when you detain water, you slow it down and make it run off slower. What you're trying to do is make the water run off at the same rate after the construction as it did before. And when you're directly adjacent to the floodplain, when you slow it down like that, you can cause the peak flow that's in the floodplain to be increased and actually you have an opportunity to cause people to flood that didn't flood before. If you don't detain the water and you let it go, when you're at the bottom of the reaches, the water runs off before the peaks that come up in the higher elevations in the drainage basin before that water gets there. And there's even language about that in the new Little Rock drainage manual that shows a perfect example of that. When you do the hydrograph with detention and you slow that peak down, it shows it matching with the peak for the rest of the basin. Our site, I think our post runoff at the 100-year event is somewhere around 15 CFS. There's a box culvert that's directly adjacent to us. We ran a stream stat study on it. I know Ronnie will know what that is. The flow rate through that is 1,400 CFS of water. And I want to look at a text here really quick to make sure I give you the right numbers here.
So you're in the lower ends of this reach of the floodplain?
Yeah, that's right. And
Okay.
yeah, so our pre-runoff is 9.5 CFS at the 100-year event. Our post-runoff is 15.6 CFS. So it's a difference of 5 CFS. And we're going into a channel that's going to be flowing 1,400 CFS. And, you know, back to the days of engineering school when we did everything in significant figures. I mean, you're only working to 1 or 2 significant figures when you're doing drainage calculations. And those are both basically zero flows when you compare them to the big flow that's in the creek. So like I said, if you guys want us to do detention, we're happy to do it. I just think that it's a poor application, and that's why we're asking to do it here. I mean, I probably would be remiss if I didn't mention, you know, the detention that we have designed is we've put a 6-foot by 3-foot box culvert underneath our parking lot to do our detention in. And we think the cost of that detention system is somewhere between $70,000 and $90,000 that our developer is going to have to spend in order to slow down water that's going into basically a huge drainage basin that's flowing 1,400 gallons a minute. Just a poor use of resources.
So the site plan shows north is to the sort of left, top left of the page. Describe-
This one that's on the screen north I thought that was straight up, but I could be.
Bottom right-hand corner, it's pointing to the kind of top left-hand corner.
It is kind of on a skew there. I think that is.
Which way is the drainage flowing?
It flows to the left on the page.
Down towards what
The
looks like,
dumpster pad,
towards the dumpster pad, okay.
yes, that direction.
So is there any property between where you're discharging and the box culvert?
No, the
And
box culvert,
What's downstream of that box culvert?
it's just raw land on the other side of the highway.
So is that riprap that I'm seeing on the side?
Yeah, we are taking a lot of care. We work closely with your floodplain manager to, you know, this is an A zone, so the floodplain elevations aren't published by FEMA. We work closely with him to establish what they are. and we're trying to make sure, we're bringing a lot of fill into this site to make sure that our entire site's high and dry. It's also raised up because if we do detention, we want to make sure that none of the 100-year floodplain backs up into our drainage system. So the riprap is just, and we're also trying to stay out of that floodplain property. And, the environmental issues that might go with us, spending too much time walling around too much on that piece of property.
So just I guess my input on this. I would tend to agree on the lower end of a large drainage basin like this, detention is not beneficial. I mean, it's a very small amount of water anyway, so it's not gonna raise your peak much, but it can probably lower your peak just a little bit if that water gets out of there before the rest of the water gets there from a large event like that. So, I mean, if this was going across another property or was further up in the basin, I would tend not to support,
Okay.
not do detention, but in this situation, it seems to make pretty good sense to me.
Okay, good feedback, Ronnie, thank you.
You know,
Commissioner Sutton?
and you folks don't know me, but I'm somebody who tries to follow the rules. I try to do, if what your code says, I try to comply with it. And I hope the fact that I went ahead and shown you what the design would look like if we did that demonstrates that. I mean, doing detention design to the level that it has to be done by this new Little Rock manual that's come into effect in the last month or so is several weeks worth of modeling and that sort of stuff. So we're not trying to get out of it something here. We've done all the work. I'm just hopeful that my client doesn't have to spend $70,000 or $80,000 on something that we don't need, and that we can do what's best for the city of Cabot and not do detention here.
Sure. We want to be common sense too, so.
Yeah.
Any other questions from commissioners?
Is any of that water, is it running towards that subdivision there?
I'm not sure what subdivision you're talking
Well,
about.
there's-
The property
Ray
off to
Street, off
what
of Ray
what I consider the west or towards the interstate is going to be that medical facility that's coming in. There's a church, what I would call south of us, but I don't know of a
There
subdivision.
is a subdivision that is
Oh, okay.
southwest of the property.
Yeah, but all of this water is, right now, it just sheet flows straight towards the interstate from this piece of property, and it's going to continue to do that. It's all going right there to that box culvert, which is just barely off the page on this blow up that we have of this site plan. I mean, you could easily hit it with rock.
I get, has any thought been taken, to what they're gonna build down? the
That piece
medical
of
building where
property
that is?
that we're draining to,
Yeah.
that the box culvert is on, should never be developed. Should never be developed. And that's one of the reasons we broke it off into a separate plot, track.
You're talking about the property on your side.
Yeah, but we have, our subdivision
Yeah.
is 2 lots. It's a floodplain lot and the high and dry lot that we're building our convenience store on. But all of this water goes onto that other lot, and in my opinion, that other lot that we've left should never be developed. It should be left in the condition it's in, and
But just to be clear, you're not talking about the property on the north side of 38.
no, I'm talking about, I'm talking about the track that our water that leaves the parking lot for this convenience store runs across to get to the box culvert entrance, which is on the south side of the highway.
All right. Thank you, Vernon. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, any questions? Not entertain a motion to approve the site plan.
Motion to approve.
Motion from Prater, second,
Second.
DeArmond. Roll call vote, please, Laura,
Is this approval with the waiver?
with the waiver. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Ogwen,
Yes.
DeArmond,
Yes.
Prater,
Yes.
Byrd,
Yes.
Knack,
Yes.
Lowe,
Yes.
Young.
Yes. 7-0, motion passes. All right, and the final bit of business, community input. Anyone have anything in the audience? Jeffrey, none? Laura, I think you've got some announcement?
I do have an announcement that we will not be having a December planning commission meeting. So,
Is that our Christmas present?
yes, if you want to think of it that way.
So we still,
So there will not be a December planning commission meeting, so I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And if I do not see any of y'all before the next holiday, I wish you a very merry and safe Christmas. It's crazy to be saying that. As well as, I guess, a happy New Year and safe New Year. And then I guess I will see y'all all back in January.
Wow, thanks, Lon.
Same to you.
Merry Christmas to you, too. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. See you guys next year then.